First Money Agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hard-working Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two First Bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first. First Bank.
Hello, honey.
Remember we're having salad for dinner.
Okay.
Don't forget to buy the vegetables, please.
William, can you please take me to the nearest ATM?
Oga, no ATM for yes. CPS for front, sir. Make I pack, make collect money we won't collect.
Customer, come now. Customer.
Madam, I need 10,000 naira cash.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Customer, thank you, eh? Thank you very much.
Even big man, they use First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money Agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Oga, I want use POS.
POS is busy. See. Go there, go there. What do you need in my hair?
5,000 naira transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
I will shout now. Leave me alone, Joe. Leave me for my hair, you. I want to do it there.
Yeah, now First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money Agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You do not need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry for make you down the number 894. Hey. Make you know the wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for me. There's a number that could change your whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial *894# to get started.
You first, First Bank. money agent and earn extra income, ma.
Oh, really?
First money. Brother, sister, make you know they know. Make extra money as you there for your double. It no matter where you dey, it no matter how we be. You said go fit enjoy with first money agent.
Become a First Money agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hardworking Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two First Bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first. First Bank.
Hello, honey.
Remember we're having salad for dinner.
Okay.
Don't forget to buy vegetables, please.
William, can you please take me to the nearest ATM?
Oga, no ATM for yes. CPS for front, sir. Make I pack, make collect money we won't collect.
Customer, come now. Customer.
Madam, I need 10,000 naira cash.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Customer, thank you, eh? Thank you very much.
Even big man, they use First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Oga, I want use POS.
You are busy, oh. See. Go there, go there.
What is it in my head?
5,000 naira transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
I will shout now. Leave me alone, Joe. Leave me. Put my hair, you. I want to play. Go there, go there, go there. Yeah.
Yeah, now First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You no need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry phone, make you dial the number 894. Make you know the wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change your whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial *894# to get started.
You first, First Bank.
a first money agent and earn extra income, ma.
Oh, really?
First money. Brother, sister, make you know they know. Make extra money as you there for your double. It no matter where you play, it no matter how we be. You said go fit enjoy with first money agent.
Become a First Money agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hardworking Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two First Bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first. First Bank.
Hello, honey.
Remember we're having salad for dinner.
Okay.
Don't forget to buy the vegetables, please.
William, can you please take me to the nearest ATM?
Oga, no ATM for yes. CPS for front, sir. Make I pack, make collect money we won't collect.
Customer, come now. Customer.
Madam, I need 10,000 naira cash.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Customer, thank you, eh? Thank you very much.
Even big man, they use first money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Oga, I want use POS.
POS is busy. See. Go there, go there.
What is this in my hair?
5,000 naira transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
I will shout now. Leave me alone, Joe. Leave me. Put my hair, you.
I want to play. Go there, go there, go there. Yeah.
Yeah, now first money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You no need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry phone, make you dial the number 894. Make you know the wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change the whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial *894# to get started.
You first bank.
First money agent and earn extra income, ma.
Oh, really?
First money. Brother, sister, make you know they know. Make extra money as you there for your double. It no matter where you there, it no matter how we be. You self go fit enjoy with first money agent.
Become a First Money agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hardworking Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two first bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first. First Bank.
Hello, honey.
Remember we're having salad for dinner.
Okay.
Don't forget to buy the vegetables, please.
William, can you please take me to the nearest ATM?
Oga, no ATM for yes. CPS for front, sir. Make I pack, make collect money we won't collect.
Customer, come now. Customer.
Madam, I need 10,000 naira cash.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Customer, thank you, eh? Thank you very much.
Even big man, they use first money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Oga, I want use POS.
The POS is busy. See. Go there, go there.
What's in my head?
5,000 naira transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
I will shout now. Leave me alone, Joe. Leave me. Put my hair, you.
I want to play. Go there, go there, go there.
Yeah, now first money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You do not need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry for make you dial the number 894. Make you know the wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change your whole world. 894. It no matter if you no get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial star 894 hash to get started.
You first, First Bank.
First money agent and earn extra income, ma.
Oh, really?
First money. Brother, sister, make you know they know. Make extra money as you there for your double. It no matter where you day, it no matter how we be. You said go fit enjoy with first money agent.
Become a First Money agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hardworking Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two first bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first. First Bank.
Hello, honey.
Remember we're having salad for dinner.
Okay.
Don't forget to buy the vegetables, please.
William, can you please take me to the nearest ATM?
Oga, no ATM for yes. CPS for front, sir. Make I pack, make collect money we won't collect.
Customer, come now. Customer.
Madam, I need 10,000 naira cash.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Customer, thank you, eh? Thank you very much.
Even big man, they use First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Oga, I want use POS.
POS is busy. See. Go there, go there.
What do you need to my hair?
5,000 naira transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
I will shout now. Leave me alone, Joe. Leave me. Move my hair, you. I want to POS.
Go there, go there, go there.
Yeah, First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You no need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry phone, make you dial the number 894. Make you know they wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change the whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial *894# to get started.
You first bank.
money agent and earn extra income, ma.
Oh, really?
Become a First Money agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hardworking Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two first bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first. First Bank.
Hello, honey.
Remember we're having salad for dinner.
Okay.
Don't forget to buy the vegetables, please.
William, can you please take me to the nearest ATM?
Oga, no ATM for yes. CPS for front, sir. Make I pack, make I collect money we won't collect.
Customer, come now. Customer.
Madam, I need 10,000 naira cash.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Customer, thank you, eh? Thank you very much.
Even big man, they use First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Oga, I want use POS.
The POS is busy. See. Go there, go there.
What is it in my hair?
5,000 naira transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
I will shout now. Leave me alone, Joe. Leave me before I hear you. I want to POS.
Go there, go there, go there. Yeah.
Yeah, now First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You no need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry phone, make you dial the number 894. Make you know they wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change the whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial *894# to get started.
You first, First Bank.
money agent and earn extra income, ma.
Oh, really?
Become a First Money agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hardworking Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two First Bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first. First Bank.
Hello, honey.
Remember we're having salad for dinner.
Okay.
Don't forget to buy the vegetables, please.
William, can you please take me to the nearest ATM?
Oga, no ATM for yes. CPS for front, sir. Make I pack, make you collect money we won't collect.
Customer, come now. Customer.
Madam, I need 10,000 naira cash.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Customer, thank you, eh? Thank you very much.
Even big man, they use First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Oga, I want use POS.
The POS is busy. See. Go there, go there. What is it in my head?
5,000 naira transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
I will shout now. Leave me alone, Joe. Leave me. Put my hair, you. I want to play. Go there, go there, go there.
Yeah, now First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You do not need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry for make you down the number 894. Make you know the wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change the whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get better. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial *894# to get started.
You first, First Bank.
money agent and earn extra income, ma.
Oh, really?
Become a First Money agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hard-working Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two First Bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first. First Bank.
Hello, honey.
Remember we're having salad for dinner.
Okay.
Don't forget to buy the vegetables, please.
William, can you please take me to the nearest ATM?
Oga, no ATM for yes. CPS for front, sir. Make I pack, make collect money we won't collect.
Customer, come now. Customer.
Madam, I need 10,000 naira cash.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Customer, thank you, eh? Thank you very much.
Even big man, they use First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Oga, I want use POS.
POS is busy. See. Go there, go there.
What is it in my hair?
5,000 naira transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
I will shout now. Leave me alone, Joe. Leave me. Put my hair, you.
I want to POS. Go there, go there, go there. Yeah.
Yeah, now First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You no need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Careful, make you down the number 894. Make you know the wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change your whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial *894# to get started.
You first, First Bank.
become a first money agent and earn extra income, ma.
Oh, really?
First money. Brother, sister, make you know they know. Make extra money as you there for your double. It no matter where you there, it no matter how it be. You said go fit enjoy with first money agent.
Become a First Money agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hardworking Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two first bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first. First Bank.
Hello, honey.
Remember we're having salad for dinner.
Okay.
Don't forget to buy the vegetables, please.
William, can you please take me to the nearest ATM?
Oga, no ATM for yes. CPS for front, sir. Make I pack, make collect money we won't collect.
Customer, come now. Customer.
Madam, I need 10,000 naira cash.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Customer, thank you, eh? Thank you very much.
Even big man, they use First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Oga, I want use POS.
The POS is busy. See. Go there, go there.
What do you need in my hair?
5,000 naira transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
I will shout now. Leave me alone, Joe. Leave me. Move my hair, you.
I want to POS. Go there, go there, go there.
Yeah, that First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You do not need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry phone, make you dial the number 894. Make you know the wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change your whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial *894# to get started.
You first, First Bank.
agent and earn extra income, ma.
Oh, really?
First money. Brother, sister, make you know they know. Make extra money as you there for your double. It no matter where you there, it no matter how we be. You said go fit enjoy with first money agent.
Become a First Money agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hardworking Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two First Bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first. First Bank.
Hello, honey.
Remember we're having salad for dinner.
Okay.
Don't forget to buy the vegetables, please.
William, can you please take me to the nearest ATM?
Oga, no ATM for yes. CPS for front, sir. Make I pack, make collect money we won't collect.
Customer, come now. Customer.
Madam, I need 10,000 naira cash.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Customer, thank you, eh? Thank you very much.
Even big man, they use First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Oga, I want use POS.
You are busy, oh. See. Go there, go there.
What do you need in my hair?
5,000 naira transfer.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you.
I will shout now. Leave me alone, Joe. Leave me. Put my hair, you.
I want to play. Go there, go there, go there. Yeah.
Yeah, now First Money POS too.
Visit a First Money agent to open an account, deposit, withdraw, transfer, buy airtime, pay bills, enroll for BVN, and more. You first. First Bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You do not need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Careful, make you dial the number 894. Make you know they wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change the whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get better. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial *894# to get started.
You first, First Bank.
money agent and earn extra income, ma.
Oh, really?
First money. Brother, sister, make you know they know. Make extra money as you there for your double. It no matter where you dey, it no matter how we be. You self go fit enjoy with first money agent.
Become a First Money agent today by visiting any First Bank branch or register on www.firstbanknigeria.com. You first. First Bank.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hardworking Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two First Bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the time now is 10 a.m. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to Lagos and to the 10th annual general meeting of our company. I wish to inform you that this annual general meeting is being held by proxy, further to the approval of the Corporate Affairs Commission under the guidance issued by it, subsequently adopted and issued by the Nigerian Exchange Limited. This AGM is being streamed live for our shareholders, regulators, and observers who are not physically present. Before the business of the day, will a shareholder please lead us in a short opening prayer? Can I call on a shareholder, Dr. Farouk Umar, to do so?
We pray to God to guide us through this meeting, to bless our company, give good health to our chairman, our managing directors, staff, and management of First Bank. We pray for peace and stability in this country as the election is approaching. And we pray that God will help us to make more profit like we have started doing in the first quarter of this year. And we pray that God will guide our leaders, give us peace and stability and unity in the country, and help us in a way that the economy will grow سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
Thank you, Dr. Farouk Umar. So in view of the approval granted by the Corporate Affairs Commission for the AGM to be held by proxy, we now invite the registrars to provide the proxy report. Registrars, please.
Thank you very much, Chairman and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I hereby confirm that we received a total of 1,179 proxies with a total shareholding of 16,518,841,550 units of shares, which is a 46.02% of the share capital of the company. In addition, I'd like to underscore the fact that 892 proxies chose the chairman, Alhaji Ahmad Abdullahi, to represent them at this meeting and vote on their behalf, and their total shareholding is 8,163,052,067 units of shares, which is 22.74% of the total proxies received. Thank you.
Thank you. I report that since the last annual general meeting, some changes took place on the board of our company as follows. Board changes. Since the last annual general meeting, the Central Bank of Nigeria dissolved the board of directors, and the tenure of the following directors ended. Dr. Oba Otudeku, CFR, Mr. Oye Hassan Odukale, MFR, Otumba Mrs. Debola Osibogun, Mr. Chidi Anya, Dr. Hamza Uroboki, Mr. Omasin Aida, Ms. Celia Akintomide, Mr. Seni Adetu, Mrs. Juliet Anama, and Mr. Otu Hajis. Please join me in expressing our sincere appreciation to the aforementioned former members for their commitment and contributions to our growth and progress. And we wish them the very best in both their current and future endeavors. Appointment to the board. Central Bank of Nigeria, upon dissolution of the board of directors as stated above, appointed the following directors. Mr. Remi Babalola as chairman, while Dr. Alimi Abdul Razak, Sir Peter Aliogo, Mrs. Kofo Desekun, Dr. Abiodun Fatade, Mr. Khalifa Imam, Mr. Ahmed Modibo were appointed as independent non-executive directors. Dr. Adeshola Adedanton was reappointed as non-executive director, and Mr. UK Eke, MFR, as a group managing director. The chairman, Mr. Remi Babalola, resigned from the board effective December 17, 2021. We'd like to thank him sincerely for his services and wish him the best in both his current and future endeavors. Thank you. In the same vein, the Central Bank of Nigeria appointed my humble self, Ahmad Abdullahi, as the chairman of the board of directors on December 17, 2021. Thank you. Kindly note that there is no regulatory imperative to present directors duly appointed by the Central Bank of Nigeria for shareholders' approval, in view of the powers conferred on the Central Bank of Nigeria by virtue of the provisions of Section 34 of the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act, BOFIA. In this instance, the aforementioned directors and the chairman board of directors shall not be presented for the approval of the shareholders. Furthermore, the board appointed Mr. Julius B. Omodayo Otuga as a non-executive director on December 22nd, 2021. His appointment has been approved by Central Bank of Nigeria, and he will be presented for the approval of shareholders at this meeting. In conclusion, effective December 31st, 2021, the Group Managing Director, Mr. UK Eke, MFR, voluntarily retired from the board after serving for 6 years. We would like to thank him for his meritorious service. I also wish him the very best in both his current and future endeavors. Thank you. Upon retirement, Mr. UK Eke, MFR, upon the retirement of Mr. UK Eke, MFR, Mr. Namdi Okonko was appointed as the Group Executive Director of the company by the board effective January 1st, 2022. His appointment has been approved by CBN. I will be presented for the approval of the shareholders at this meeting. The profiles of the newly appointed directors are contained in the annual report. Please join me in welcoming all of them to the board. I will look forward to working with them to deliver on our mandate and exceed expectations of our stakeholders. Following these appointments, the board is currently composed of 10 directors, comprising 7 independent non-executive directors, 2 non-executive directors, and 1 executive director, who is also the group managing director. I confirm that the register of directors' shareholding is available for inspection by members in compliance with the provisions of Section 318 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, and that this can be examined at the registrar's table. Before moving to the formal aspect of the meeting, I would like to commence proceedings at this meeting by introducing our directors, secretary, advisors, and representatives of the regulatory authorities. First, I will start with the directors present at this meeting. And from my extreme right is Dr. Adeshola Adeditum. Followed by Mr. Namdi Okonko. And on my left is the acting company secretary, Mr. Adewale Arogundadi. And then, of course, my humble self, the chairman of the company. So in line with the approval received from the Corporate Affairs Commission for attendance of the meeting by proxy, the following directors have duly appointed me as their proxy to represent them at this meeting. They are Dr. Alimi Abdulrazak, Sir Peter Aliogo, Mrs. Kofo Desekun, Dr. Abiodun Fatade, Mr. Khalifa Imam, Mr. Ahmed Modibo, and Mr. Julius Omodayo Otuga. May I also introduce the shareholders present at this meeting. They are Mr. Sunday Soni Nwosu, Dr. Umar Farouk, Mrs. B.C. Bakare, Mr. Matthew Akilade, Mr. Boniface Okezi, and Mr. Eric Akinduro. Mr. Tunde Adukale, is he around? He's a shareholder, in fact, one of the major shareholders for that matter. You are welcome. And he's also the chairman of First Bank Nigeria Group. You're welcome. Next, I would like to introduce the registrars, Meristem Registrars and Private Services Limited. The representatives of the auditors, Mrs. KPMG Professional Services. Our external consultants on the board appraisal, Mrs. PricewaterhouseCoopers. The representatives of the Nigerian Exchange Limited. Those of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. Representatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria. And those of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation. I would also like to introduce the legal advisors to this AGM, Mrs. Esther and Macarius and Mrs. City Point Chambers. The Corporate Affairs Commission has informed us that they will not be able to attend physically, but that they will join the meeting online. I also would like to introduce the chairman of the audit committee, Mr. Namdi Okwadibo, who I understand is not here. He has a challenge, but a member will stand in for him. But the other members, Mr. Kashimao Tayo, FCA. And then there is Mr. Fahad Farouk Umar. And I call upon the acting company secretary to read the notice convening the meeting.
Notice of Notice of 10th Annual General Meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 10th Annual General Meeting of members of FBNHoldings Plc will be held at the Oriental Hotel, 3 Lekki Epe Expressway, Victoria Island, Lagos, on Monday, June 20, 2022, at 10 a.m., or so soon thereafter, to transact the following. Ordinary business. 1. To lay before the members the audited accounts for the financial year ended December 31, 2021, together with the reports of the directors, auditors, board appraisers, and audit committee thereon. 2. To declare a dividend. 3. To elect the following directors. A. Mr. Julius B. Amadayo Wotuga as a non-executive director. B. Mr. Nnamdi Okonkwo as a group managing director. 4. To announce the directors, to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. 5. To disclose the remuneration of managers of the company. 6. To elect members of the statutory audit committee. Special business, that's number 7. A. To consider and if thought fit, pass the following as ordinary resolution. That the directors be and are hereby authorized to take steps to comply with the requirements of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, Section 124, and the Companies Regulations 2021 as it relates to the unissued share currently standing to the capital of the company. B, that the company be and is hereby authorized to take all steps necessary to ensure that the memorandum and articles of association of the company are altered to comply with Resolution A above, including replacing the provision stating the authorized share capital with the issued share capital. C, that the directors be and are hereby authorized to enter into and execute any agreements, deeds, notices, and any other documents necessary for and or incidental to Resolution A above. D, that the directors of the company or any one of them for the time being be and are hereby authorized to appoint such professional parties and advisors and to perform all such other acts and do all such other things as will be necessary for or incidental to the above resolutions, including, without limitation, complying with directives of any regulatory authority. Notes. 1 is on proxy. In view of the COVID-19 pandemic and the directives issued by the relevant authorities on physical distancing and the ban on large gathering, the Corporate Affairs Commission has approved that attendance to the meeting shall only be by proxies. Consequently, members are required to appoint a proxy of their choice from the following proxies to attend and vote in his, her, or his stead. A, Alhaji Ahmad Abdullahi, the group chairman. B, Mr. Nnamdi Okonkwo, the group managing director. C, Dr. Adeshola Adedoto, non-executive director. D, Sir Sonny Nwosu. E, Dr. Umar Farouk. F, Mrs. Bisi Bakare. G, Mr. Matthew Akinlade. H, Mr. Boniface Okezie. And I, Mr. Eric Akinduro. A proxy form is attached to the annual report. All instruments of proxies should be emailed to the registrars or deposited at the registered office of the company or the office of the registrars, Meristem Registrars and Probate Services Limited, 213 Abamakoli Way, Adekunle Yaba, Lagos, Nigeria. Note, all instruments of proxy shall be at the company's expense. 2, dividend. If the proposed dividend recommended by the directors is approved by members at the AGM, the dividend will be payable on Tuesday, June 21, 2022, to members whose names appear in the register of members at the close of business on June 13, 2022. Shareholders who have completed the e-dividend mandate forms will receive a direct credit of the dividend into their bank accounts. 3, closure of register of members. In accordance with Section 114 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, please note that the register of members and transfer books of the company will be closed from June 14 to 15, 2022, both dates inclusive, to enable the registrars to update records in preparation for the payment of dividend. 4, e-dividend mandate. Shareholders are kindly requested to update their records and advise Meristem Registrars and Probate Services Limited of their updated records and relevant bank accounts for payments of their dividends. Detachable forms in respect of mandates for e-dividend payments and shareholder data updates are attached to the annual report for convenience. The forms can also be downloaded by from the company's website at www.FBNHoldings.com or from Meristem Registrars and Probate Services Limited website. The duly completed form should be delivered to Meristem Registrars and Probate Services Limited, 213 Abamakoli Way, Adekunle Yaba, Lagos. 5, unclaimed dividend warrants. Shareholders are hereby informed that some dividend warrants have been returned to the registrar as unclaimed, while some have neither been presented for payment nor to the registrars for revalidation. Affected members are by this notice advised to contact the registrars, Meristem Registrars and Probate Services Limited, 213 Abamakoli Way, Adekunle Yaba, Lagos. 6, Statutory Audit Committee. In accordance with Section 404, subsection 6 of CAMA, a shareholder may nominate another shareholder for appointment to the Audit Committee. Such nomination should be in writing and must reach the Company Secretary not less than 21 days before the AGM. The Companies and Allied Matters Act, Code of Corporate Governance of the Financial Reporting Council, Security and Exchange Commission, and the Central Bank of Nigeria, respectively, indicate that some of the members of the Audit Committee should have financial literacy and be knowledgeable in internal control processes. In view of the above, we therefore request that nominations be accompanied by a copy of the nominee's curriculum vitae. The curriculum vitae of eligible candidates will be posted on the company's website before the date of the AGM. 7, election of directors. A, Mr. Julius B. Omodayo Wotuga was appointed as a non-executive director of the company on December 22, 2021. His appointment has been approved by the Central Bank of Nigeria. It will be presented for shareholders' approval at the 10th Annual General Meeting. B, Mr. Nnamdi Okonkwo was appointed as the Group Managing Director of the company effective January 1st, 2022. The appointment has been approved by the Central Bank of Nigeria. It will be presented for shareholders' approval at the 10th Annual General Meeting. 8, right of shareholders to ask questions. Pursuant to Rule 19.12, subsection C of the Nigerian Exchange Group Rulebook 2015, please note that it is the right of every shareholder to ask questions, not only at the meeting, but also in writing prior to the meeting. We urge that such questions be submitted to the company secretariat not later than 2 weeks before the date of the meeting. 9, live streaming of the AGM. The AGM will be streamed live online. This will enable shareholders and other relevant stakeholders who will not be attending the meeting physically to also be part of the proceedings. The link for the live streaming will be made available on the company's website, www.FBNHoldings.com, and by the registrars in due course. By order of the board, Adewale Arogundade, Acting Company Secretary. Thank you.
Thank you, Acting Company Secretary. I would like to appeal to any member who wishes to ask a question or make comment, move or second a motion, to please make use of microphones that will be made available. And I call on the representatives of the auditors, Mrs. KPMG Professional Services, to read the auditor's report, which has been circulated to members, together with the accounts for the year ended 31st December 2021.
Good morning. The chairman of the Board of Directors of FBNHoldings Plc. Good morning, distinguished shareholders. My name is Kabir Okunlola, as has been introduced. Can I request your permission to present an abridged version of the auditor's report? Thank you very much. The auditor's report is contained on pages 153 to 158 of the annual report. The independent auditor's report to the shareholders of FBNHoldings Plc report on the audit of the separate and consolidated financial statements. Opinion: we have audited the separate and consolidated financial statements of FBNHoldings, the company, and its subsidiaries, together the group, which comprise the separate and consolidated statement of financial position as at 31st December 2021, the separate and consolidated statement of profit or loss for the year ended, the separate and consolidated statement of other comprehensive income for the year then ended, the separate and consolidated statement of changes in equity, the separate and consolidated statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and notes comprising significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the separate and consolidated financial position of the company and its subsidiaries as at 31st December 2021, and of its separate and consolidated financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards and in a manner required by the Companies and Allied Matters Act of Nigeria 2020, the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act 2011, the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020, and the relevant Central Bank of Nigeria guidelines and circulars. Basis of opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the group and company in accordance with the International Ethics Standards Board for accountants, the International Code of Ethics for professional accountants, including international independent standards, together with the ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit of the financial statements in Nigeria. And we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with this requirement and the ISBA code. We believe that the audit evidence that we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. The key audit matters are those matters that are, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the year for the consolidated and separate financial statement. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the financial statement as a whole and informing our opinion on the financial statement, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. We have determined that the matter described below to be the key audit matter to be communicated in our report. The expected credit loss allowance on loans and advances to customers, otherwise referred to as the ECL allowance. The ECL allowance on loans and advances to customers is considered to be of most significance in our audit due to the level of subjectivity inherent in estimating the key assumptions that impact the recoverability of loan balances in arriving at the level of impairment allowance required. The group uses an ECL model to determine the impairment allowance for loans and advances to customers. The determination of the impairment allowance using the ECL model is inherently a significant area for the group and requires the application of certain judgments, assumptions, and estimates of financial indices. These indices are estimated from historical financial data obtained within and outside the group. The group ECL model includes certain judgments and assumptions in determining the impairment allowance of loans and advances, comprising the determination of defaults, the assessment of significant increase in credit risk, incorporation of forward-looking information based on the economic scenarios within the model, the determination of the 12-month and lifetime probability of default used in the model, the determination of exposure at default based on the discounted future cash flows at the reporting date, and the rate of recovery on loans that are past due and are in default. The credit conversion factor applied in modeling the EAD for undrawn commitments, and the estimation of the loss given default based on collateral values and other cash flows. The procedures that we performed included the following. We evaluated the design and implementation of key controls over the impairment determination process, such as the board credit committee review of the allowance on loans and advances, and management review of relevant data used in calculating the expected credit loss, including the evaluation of the ECL impairment calculation. We assessed the group default definition and other qualitative default indicators by checking them to requirement of the standards. We tested the appropriateness of the group determination of significant increase in credit risk, default, and the resultant classification of loans into stages on a sample basis by reviewing customer records for the terms of the loans and account statements for due and unpaid obligations. Assisted by our financial risk management team, we checked the key data and assumptions used for the data into the ECL model by the group. The procedures that we performed in this regard included the following. We challenged the appropriateness and reasonableness of the model and the methodology by considering whether it reflects an unbiased and probability-weighted amounts that are determined by evaluating a range of possible outcomes, the time value of money, reasonable and supportable information at the reporting date about past events, current conditions, and forecasts of the future economic conditions. For the forward-looking assumptions comprising crude oil prices, the gross domestic product, and Nigerian Stock Exchange Index, we corroborated the group assumption using publicly available information from external sources and checked that these were appropriate in the group's circumstances. We evaluated the appropriateness of the basis of determining exposure at default, including the contractual cash flows, outstanding loan balance, the loan repayment type, the loan tenor, the effective interest rate, by checking them to source documents and performing a recomputation on a sample basis. We checked the credit conversion factor applied in the model for undrawn commitment by reviewing the client's computation to confirm that the computation is in line with portfolio segmentation. For the probability of default use, we validated the completeness and accuracy of the data used for default and non-default category for corporate and retail loans by evaluating their reasonability. We checked the calculation of the loss-given defaults used by the group in the ECL calculation, including the appropriateness of the use of collateral by recomputing the loss-given default, cash flow validation, and assessing the haircut applied by management on the recoverability of collaterals, considering the current economic conditions. On a sample basis, we challenged the valuation of collateral applied in the computation by evaluating the competence of the valuers and checking the market value of the collaterals to other independent publicly available information. We assessed how the group has treated restructured loans based on changes to cash flow characteristics of customers and related impact on staging and significant increase in credit risk to confirm that these are consistent with the requirements of the standards. And we independently reperformed the calculation of impairment for loans and advances using the group impairment model and validated key inputs. The group's accounting policy on impairment, the related disclosures on credit risk and significant accounting judgments, estimates and assumptions are included in notes 2.9.1, 3.2, note 22, and 5 respectively. On other information included in the financial statement, the responsibilities of directors and responsibilities of the auditors for the financial statement, with your permission, I will take those as read. The other part of our report is on other legal and regulatory requirements. Compliance with the requirements of Schedule 5 of the Companies and Other Matters Act. We have obtained all the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and believe, were necessary for purposes of our audit. In our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the company so far as appears from examination of those books. The company's statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss, and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts. Compliance with Section 26 of the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act and Central Bank of Nigeria Circular BSD 1/2004. Number one, the group paid penalties in respect of contravention of the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act during the year ended 31st December 2021. The details of the penalties paid are disclosed in note 46 of the financial statement. Secondly, related party transactions and balances are disclosed in note 44 to the financial statement in compliance with the Central Bank of Nigeria Circular BSD 1/2004. The audit report was signed by me for and on behalf of KPMG Professional Services on the 25th of May 2022. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Mrs. KPMG Professional Services. I also call on the chairman of the audit committee, who will be Farouk Umar, standing in for Mr. Okoya Divo, to read the committee's report already circulated. It's on page 152 of the annual report and accounts, which, as I said, has been circulated to members.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Fuad Farouk, shareholders representative, and I'm here to read the report of the audit committee. In compliance with Section 404 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we have reviewed the audit report for the year ended 31st December 2021 and hereby state as follows. 1. The scope and planning of the audit were adequate in our opinion. 2. The accounting and reporting policies of the company conformed to the statutory requirements and agreed ethical practices. 3. The internal control was being constantly and effectively monitored. 4. The external auditor's management report received satisfactory response from management. And 5. The committee reviewed the audit report on insider-related party transactions and is satisfied with their status as required by Central Bank of Nigeria, dated 27th April 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Farouk Umar. Lastly, I will call on the representatives of Mrs. Price Waterhouse Coopers to present the board appraisal and corporate governance report for the year 2021. The reports are on pages 120 and 121 of the annual report and accounts, which has also been circulated to members. Price Waterhouse Coopers.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, all shareholders present. My name is Femi Oshinobi. I read the summary reports on the outcome of the board evaluation for the period ended 31st December 2021. PricewaterhouseCoopers was engaged to carry out an evaluation of the board of directors of FBNHoldings Plc as required by Principle 14 of the Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance and SEC Corporate Governance Guidelines for the period ended 31st December 2021. Our responsibility is to reach a conclusion on the board's performance based on work carried out within the scope of our engagement as contained in our letter dated 24 January 2022. In carrying out the evaluation, we have relied on representations made by members of the board and management and on the documents provided for our review. The board has complied significantly with the provisions of the codes. Areas of compliance include review of quarterly reports presented by the Group Managing Director with the aim of ensuring collaboration and efficient management of the company's resources, oversight of financial performance, risk and compliance, as well as ensuring the preservation of auditors' independence. In addition, the board during the year maintained oversight of the implementation of the company's strategy. Details of our other findings are contained in our report. On behalf of this report was signed by myself on behalf of PricewaterhouseCoopers, dated 28 April 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, PricewaterhouseCoopers. Thank you. The next item to be read is the chairman's statement, which is on pages 19 to 23 of the annual report and accounts. And in view of the need for... Thank you very much. Thank you, shareholder. Thank you. Kindly be informed that exercise of the powers conferred on me by virtue of Section 2481A of KAMA, I hereby call a poll on items 1 to 7 on the agenda. Thus, voting for these resolutions will be taken electronically. The resolutions on these items 1 to 7 will be proposed as ordinary resolutions. A majority representing 50.1% of total votes cast by the shareholders and proxies here present is required for each resolution to be passed. I now come to the first item on the agenda, which is to receive the audited financial statements of the company for the year ended December 31st, 2021, and the reports of the directors, auditors, external consultants on the board appraisal, and that of the audit committee thereon. The reports and accounts have been circulated to all members in compliance with the statutory requirements, and I hereby move that the reports of the directors, auditors, external consultants on the board appraisal, and Audit Committee, together with the audited accounts for the financial year ended December 31st, 2021, now submitted to this meeting, be and are hereby received. Can a shareholder please second the motion? Okay. Mrs. Bakari.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Mrs. Bisi Bakari. I second the motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Bakari. And I call for comments from members. Please make use of the microphone that will be made available to you. Comments from members. Okay, so let me begin from the right. Mr. Akiladi.
The chairman, board members here present, regulatory authorities, my colleagues, distinguished shareholders, good morning. My name is Matthew Akinlade, President of Noble Shareholders Solidarity Association. I think what we come to do here today, essentially, is to rejoice with our company for coming out of the storm of the previous year in a big way. Before I go to that, I first of all want to appreciate the directors who have exited, who served and exited since the last AGM. They have made their own contributions to the development of the bank, and I pray that they will continue to make progress in their future endeavors. Secondly, I want to welcome our chairman and other directors, in fact, the group managing director and other directors who have been appointed to the board since the last AGM. Looking at the profile of the directors, there is no doubt that they are well equipped to take the bank forward. And I will tell you that we as shareholders will repose confidence in you. And even given the performance of 2021 that we are reviewing here, it means the board is focused and the management and staff are doing their jobs effectively. So I wish us continuous progress. If we look at the performance, when we look at page 6 and 7, performance highlights, it is very, very encouraging. Gross earning grew by 28.2%, and net interest income by 96.1%. And if we go straight away to earning per share for the bank, from 2.41 naira of the previous year, it's nearly doubled to 4.17. This is a great achievement. And I want to praise the effort that we have made in terms of loan recovery, especially loans that have been previously written off, that we made all the efforts that are required, and we got them back. And I think those has affected the bottom line positively. Beyond that, we made progress in other areas. Customer deposits went up by 19.5%. Loan advances, which is income generation item, went up again also by 30%. all these are positive. And in terms of the apps that the company is using, I read in the chairman's statement on page 21 that agency banking, we increased our hours to 167,000. Probably that's the biggest number in the industry. And in terms of geopolitical coverage, we are in 772 local government areas out of total of 774 local governments. This is promoting financial inclusion. That is, we are bringing everybody into the banking system. It is well appreciated. I will not take your time so that I can allow others to make contribution. But last item I want to mention is on our dividend. In 2013, First Bank paid the highest dividend of 1 naira 10 kobo before there was problem in the banking industry, which affected the bank negatively. But after that, the bank started making, if you look at the past 5 years, we have progressively increased our dividend. 2016, 20 kobo, 2017, 25 kobo, 2018, 26, 2019, 38 kobo, and 2020, 45 kobo. This year, our profit is robust, is good. I appreciate the need for us for cash retention, and I won't be surprised if that's what informed going down on dividend to 35 kobo. First Bank should be a foremost bank in Nigeria. I know we are on the right trajectory already, but we should be looking at making our bank a Naira dividend bank. And God will be with you. God will be with the management and the board to take our bank to the level that we desire. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Akiladi. Let me come to the left, Dr. Farouk Umar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate all the points raised by the previous speaker. One of the points he made, I want to highlight it so that shareholders will see the caliber of the directors we have on our board. First of all, Mr. Chairman, let me begin by thanking the Central Bank of Nigeria for the reconstruction of our board. We are very happy. We have CBN representatives. You should tell Emefiele that this is what he should be doing in all the banks. You see, here in this bank today, we have 7 independent non-executive directors. And this is one of the things that will strengthen a board. The more INED you have, the better for corporate governance. See now the result we have. Within 1 year, the first quarter of the bank, almost 40 billion, is at par with our competitors. And you can see also the profit, which has increased tremendously. It showed that he has given us the right people. If you look at, for example, the chairman of the board, who has been on many boards, who has a lot of experience in board governance, is somebody who has worked in CBN, so the issue of corporate governance is well taken care of in this bank. Also,
If you look at the boards he is serving or he has served, like FMDQ, FITC, CIBN, and AMCON, it showed the caliber of the leadership we have in this bank. And he relates very well with the two MDs, and this is what we want in any organization. Look at Nnamdi Okonkwo. We were with him in Fidelity. He was the MD. He restructured the bank with his risk management knowledge. Look at Fidelity today. Look at the share price when he started and what it is today. We are really happy, and it's somebody who has an MBA, so you can see the caliber. And you come to the guru, Dr. Adeshola Adeduton, is an accomplished professional with distinctive international and domestic experience in commercial and investment banking, development finance, audit, consulting. What else do you need? So we thank the CBN for this, and we hope and pray that they will continue to do the same in other banks. In fact, I think the number of independent directors from 3 should be increased. Here in Nigeria today, we have companies like Dangote with about 5 independent directors, and Seflat. But First Bank is the bank that had the highest number of independent directors. The only thing that, Mr. Chairman, I think regarding diversity on the board is I saw that we have only 1 woman on the board. Mr. Chairman, you know the regulation from the regulators is that 30% of the board members should be females. So I hope and trust you will look into this and at least add 1 woman on our board. Mr. Chairman, I also want to say that I'm happy with the board attendance of directors. I've seen that we have almost 100% attendance by directors, which shows that our directors are very responsible. I think we should clap for them. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Matthew has spoken about the performance of the bank, and I hope and pray we will sustain this performance. Mr. Chairman, regarding the dividend payment, and I think this is the last thing I would like to talk about. Shareholders, as shareholders, we need more dividend. We need, you know, if you look at inflation at 17%, it is suggesting that our dividend should have increased by 17%. But Mr. Chairman, given the situation in the country, with the CRR, we have almost over 1 trillion naira with you, CBN. You are not paying us any interest. And we keep saying that this is not fair. You are using our money without giving us, and we have to pay depositors interest. Please, we pray that CBN will review this situation. So in view of this, Mr. Chairman, we need to strengthen our reserve. We don't know what CBN is going to come up with regarding recapitalization. So we are not short-term investors, Mr. Chairman. We are not traders. We are long-term investors. I have invested in this bank 28 years ago, Mr. Chairman. So to me, I'm happy with the 35 kobo you are paying. Warren Buffett has said that if you want to invest your money, look at companies that are building their reserve. You know, you look at what you said here. You are focusing on the future. This is what is on our accounts. So we want you to focus on the future. Make sure that when CBN comes to the recapitalization, we will be in a position to meet the requirement. We may even want to acquire small banks There are small banks that I'm sure may not make it. Mr. Chairman, we are also willing, in case you want to come and ask us for money, we will invest, because with the caliber of board members we have, I'm willing to put more money in this bank. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Farouk. All you have said have been noted, and they are in line with our thinking. Mr. Boniface Okezi.
Mr. Chairman of FBN plc, directors of our company, further distinguished shareholder, good morning. My name is Okezi Boniface. I represent the National Chairman, Progressive Shareholders of Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, I am not going to take your time today like other speakers have taken. I think they have spoken thus so far. Bear in mind, I want to highlight the issue that CBN, Farouk commended them for the step they are taking. Yes, I also join. I think this is the only way CBN have done very well in the decision they took on CBN. If they have applied that wisdom to other places, which they took in 2007 and 2008, we would have better off, Afribank wouldn't have gone under the ground, and where we lost our investments, and so many other banks then, where we crowd, they didn't hear from us. But I think Mayfield have been somehow level-headed, but it also has so corporate by also nationalizing our bank, which is Sky Bank. Today is a polarized, whatever, That fall of that bank is caused by CBN. Today have not been addressed. And the same CBN governor told me that he's going to look into it and make sure shareholders get their money, whatever do to them. Would they have not complied? But what we're seeing today in this account, penalty I'm seeing here today is being done by CBN. Except 1 million we pay to SEC on whatever their issues are about, maybe one for energy. So what we're having today in CBN is a super regulator. And they are not addressing the economy that's facing the nations. The monetary aspect, which CBN should be driving, they are not concerned. Dollar is almost 600. They are not talking about it. Every infringement, they penalize you. Not even reprimanding the bank. That's what the regulator should be doing in other clients. No regulator hammer an operator with such impunity the CBN government is doing in Nigerian economy. It's not held, it's not palatable, Mr. Chairman. If you continue to re-echo and talking about the acts of CBN, what they have been doing, we won't live here today. But that lawlessness must be cut to size. They must, think the bank to survive. But they talk about recapitalization. How do we go about it? Hence, CBN are taking away such money from us with impunity. You can't argue. Even when they argue, they penalize you for arguing with them, as if they are even caught. Court been challenged, Supreme Court been challenged. Mr. Chairman, it is not good enough. If you look at page 3026, 3027, all penalty we saw here, brought to 632 million, is all went to CBN. And you look at those penalties, Mr. Chairman, that you can even write a query to the bank. That's how things have been done. If your explanations are not thorough, not certified, you cannot apply some level of penalty to caution for them to share deterrent. But CBN is not their own, because the money residing with them. He said, Jack, your account have been debited. This is not the way to go, Mr. Chairman. I know you are once there. That's why you are laughing. I know you are once there as a supervision in CBN. But I don't think when you are there, those impunity will also, with out of hand, out of control. They're here today. They can't even report verbatim. They observe what shareholders have been echoing here. They will just go and go back. They can't comfort their master who sent them as an observer here. This is our report. This is what the owners of our company are saying, that we should be lenient to them. But no, they will just come here, sit down, and say the observer and go. Then what are they coming here to do? Mr. Chairman, having said that, I think CBN cannot say that their staff have not been involved in certain cryptocurrency, whatever. They're penalizing us. They can't swear by Quran or Bible that they have not been involved. Their staff or CBN have not been making money in that channel. If they say that all of them will die, that's the truth. But when companies involve such, they penalize. CBN should be take careful, please. Careful. Mr. Chairman, if you look at page 37, that unclaimed dividend, I'm also appeal the company secretary and the registrars to give us also a list containing the detail of shareholders who are not yet to claim their dividend. You must publish that. Don't tell us to go to a website or whatever, you know. You are not buying us laptop or buying us data to go to a website to begin to download. Even the one he sent here, I tried to download, is not opening. That's the problem we are seeing. On my phone, I can't open it. So you must publish that list and let us have the list. If I seen a person I know there, known to me, I will call that person. Your name has been published. Why have you not gone to collect your money? Vis-a-vis, we're able to reduce this issue of unclaimed dividend address. If possible, we can publish in national 2 dailies. FBN can do it in national dailies, 2 at least, to publish it, you know, so that people can go there, see their name, and claim this money before the pen robbers in Abuja will demand for those money. Mr. Chairman, it's very, very important. If you look at that, 2.8 billion is outstanding. We need to reduce this, you know, kind of money and let the owners have their money back. It's their sweat. So they cannot sit idle and government take this money, which collaborating with SEC to collect the money now. They say the unclaimed fund, whatever who administering them, I don't know, only God knows. So, Mr. Chairman, that's the issue which should be addressed. So that a common man will take their money, because the government are not helpful to the common man. So they cannot, with their might, to come and take others' sweat. That is stealing. That's our robbery. And unfortunately, ACs cannot go after them when they steal this money. When they ask you to come to Abuja, 5,000 to come and collect 10,000 naira, you spend about 50,000 naira to buy a ticket to go to Abuja. By go to and fro, 100,000 has gone. For how much are you going for? So, Mr. Chairman, we should look at those issues. Mr. Chairman, looking at the indices here on page 7 and 8, that speak on volume of our account, on our earnings, performances highlight, which is on page 6 and 7, is excellent, Mr. Chairman. That say that FBN is still on top. It's still a first bank in the country today, despite challenges, and which we are weathering the storms, and we are coming back stronger. 35 kobo is not misplaced, but we are making a statement. I know that is not where FBN should be, 35 kobo. We should more than that. In the past, this bank have been paying 1 naira, 2 naira, but we need to go back to those old age, where we are coming from. By the time they are earning today, we should have paid much. But I believe in saving for rainy days, Mr. Chairman, knowing where we are coming from. But I want to commend the management, the board. You have done very well. By recovery, an entire workforce, which are assets, they must also be treated well. So we can't leave the bank to go to elsewhere to poach them when we train them. We must also involve training and retraining our staffs, including directors. We need to involve that so that our assets, will have them. Mr. Chairman, it's not easy for you to have retail agency banking in almost 677 local government today. About 677,000. It's only First Bank that can do it, no other bank. 737, how many local government will cover almost 777 local governments, Mr. Chairman? I think this is a milestone that the bank has done. And that's why I'm applauding CBN, because First Bank cannot go down in history. If First Bank go down, that made the totality of the economy of Nigeria have collapsed completely, and it's irredeemable. And that cannot happen to us. And that's what we're saying, Mr. Chairman. We can forgive you for not giving us higher dividend. But what we're praying today, that is pay us higher dividend, we should be expecting from First Bank as a #1 bank. FBNHoldings will do that. Because if other subsidiaries are contributing, we cannot be talking about 2 naira, 3 naira dividend here. And I pray that other subsidiaries will be doing very well as the economy itself bounce back. Because they cannot operate differently. They operate an economy that is walling down the drain, that is not finding its bearing. And every company that have declared 1 kobo or thereabout, we should applaud them. Because, Mr. Chairman, the terrain which they have gone through to make this money and pay this dividend, we should clap for them. It's not easy to come by. And that's why we can appeal to our shareholders, fellow members, to bear with ABN. The all good days will come back. Everybody will enjoy ABN, what they have been noted for. I pray for a good Lord. We're going to guide you. You will pilot the affairs. And I want to commend the directors who are left. They have done very well, including UK. I must applaud him. He's a good man, and he has done well for the bank ABN. And other directors, may the good Lord give them good health. And I know Nandi will not fail, because he didn't fail in fidelity. Here, being now the last bus stop, where he retired permanently to go back to retire, so he cannot afford to fail. Dr. Shola, I want to commend you for being the legacy director. You continue to guide this bank until we come back where the First Bank will play its role as a major financial powerhouse in this country. By then you can retire and go home.
Thank you.
But now it's all work and no rest. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Okezi. Your observations have been noted. Those are to be responded to will be responded to. I'm sure the CBN and SEC has heard you very clearly regarding the observations you made. Thank you very much. Mr. Seni Nwosu, I'll come.
Mr. Chairman, I can pardon you because you have sympathy for me due to my weakness. That is why I've been raising hand. You didn't.
No, I was going this way, not this way.
Well, there is no way you will go and leave the middle lane and go to the left and right. But however, I agree with all the speakers. And my very important concern and what I believe in is that First Holding will not fail. When you take the antecedent of Shola and Namdi together for what they have gone through, I think their best will be delivered in First Bank Holding. And therefore, I am quite sure that with time, we'll return back to a good dividend. It is very clear. So God will bless your tenure and bless all those working with you, especially those who are baking, who faces the furnace to bake the cake and bread that we are eating. God will continue to bless them and guide them. Mr. Chairman, I am concerned with few things here. Page 41 has to do with the complaints received. And the complaints is very huge. They are very huge. And I'm concerned. I want to ask the board what they are doing about these things. Now, for Central Bank is entirely a busybody, where they are supposed to fight the cause of people. They don't. Look at a small bank that is not up to 3 years, swallowing a bank of 100 and something years, and they kept quiet. The information is that one of the top people in Central Bank is actually part of the formation of that bank. So I expect that if there's insinuation at that level, people should come out and refute or say yes or no, although it's difficult. Now, who owns the bank? Is it the regulators that owns the bank? Who regulates the regulator? If nobody regulates the regulators, they think they are doing the right thing. And Central Bank have actually made the bank directors and management deaf and dumb. They cannot talk. If you talk, they bounce you with millions of naira. Then you'll be afraid to talk. We cannot continue to live in such environment. It is wrong. We can't. How can you be penalizing banks? I want to tell you, Mr. Chairman, when they open up to this second stage of banks, which came during Babangida period, a lot of them resigned from Central Bank, assistant directors, set up banks. Those banks never saw the light of the day. They died off. So when you see a bank that is progressing, you should support, not using regulation to kill the bank. Imagine if they have taken 25 million, they have taken 150 million and all that and that as infraction. If that money had remained with the bank, they will have more money to bake more cake and produce better results. So Central Bank, this is not politics where they can say they want to be president. A civil servant saying he wants to be president. Pay 100 million. Where will a civil servant get 100 million from? These are areas that a super regulator should actually investigate such a thing. So I think we have a problem in this country. When you are there, you think. The second problem we have is AMCON. AMCON continue to collect money from the banks. They have tried to extend their lifetime. About twice now they have failed. And the people continue to. Does it mean that that payment is endless? We challenge somebody and they said bankers committee are trying to work on AMCON. Let them work on it. All these monies that they are collecting, both NDIC, AMCON, Central Bank, is enough for the banks to use to turn around the whole situation and pay the owners of the bank better dividend. The essence of investing is for me to go home with a dividend, not to go home with Bakudaya. That's the essence of investment. The central bank people there who are mastering all these things cannot run a bank. And I doff my hat for any company that pays dividend, because it's not easy to, in 1 year, to work on a business, make profit, pay tax, pay dividend, AMCON, NDIC, all of them will take theirs, and you will still have something to return home to pay. So I appreciate the 35 kobo that FBNHoldings is paying. I know that if it were possible, they will pay more. But as I said, these two managing directors, I believe in them that they will turn around the place because they have a good antecedent. And I've also read your profile. Coming from all that way, Usman Dafo is in Sokoto. Walking down from Sokoto to Lagos, you mean business. And I believe that by the time you finish, you get to the desert, the bar beach of Lagos. That is the seaside of Lagos. Will be smiling at the AGM that you will conduct. So please, if possible, sell the sands in Bar Beach and produce better profit and pay us the good profit. I also want to thank you that this dividend will be paid tomorrow, and I believe the registrars are ready. It's a test case for them, although I know they've actually been doing a very good job in that area, but this is a test case for them to manage an account of 1 million shareholders. It's not an easy thing. I wish them luck, and I believe they will succeed. I want to see an alert tomorrow too, in order to enjoy myself, just like Matthew Akinlade said yesterday. Please let us have the account gang tomorrow so that I can use it to buy native chicken to eat. Farouk, in Kano we eat native chicken, yes, not a Greek. So it's very important. Mr. Chairman, just like my colleague said, I agree that we have to praise the old directors that left because they laid all the foundation that we're talking about. Despite shortcomings or anything, we have to appreciate them so that by the time you guys will also be going, we will also appreciate you because a precedent has been created. So, but before you leave, these two gentlemen, from what I heard, they are working as a family with you. You must produce a result to tell the investing public that First Bank continues to be first in every aspect. And by God's grace, I think that will happen. Mr. Chairman, I've been actually advised that I should not talk too much. But however, you have my support.
Thank you.
In everything you are doing.
Thank you.
You know.
Thank you, Mr. Wozu.
You see, I've dropped this. I'm not holding this. I'm sitting erect to talk.
So we wish you quick recovery.
Better
recovery.
God bless our investment in First Bank. And God grant you the wisdom, the three of you, the wisdom to turn around the place. It's not difficult. These two men have gone through the fire and everything, and they have the answer to support you to bring back First Bank to what it used to be. By God's grace, they will do it. And all of us shall be alive to see a new First Bank.
Thank you very much,
So,
Mr.
Central Bank should mind themselves. Otherwise, we will write petition against them.
I'm sure they have heard you very, very well.
Yes.
So, you don't have to repeat it again.
You know,
They have
no,
heard you very
I saw a man who is having my kind of head, shine there. So, and I saw him is smiling, but the woman is not smiling. You know, women, they are always worried on issues. Thank you, and God bless shareholders of First Bank.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Akilade, Mrs. Bakari, sorry. Mrs. Bakari.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Mrs. Bisi Bakari, a shareholder. I just want to add my voice, Mr. Chairman, by welcoming you, Alhaji Ahmad Abdullahi, our Group Managing Director, Mr. Nnamdi Okoko, and Mr. Julius Owutuga. I welcome all of you into our company, and I hope and pray that during your tenure, First Bank, FBNHoldings will start paying good dividends. Page 202, page 212, pages 212, 215. I just want to advise our company that we should increase our exposure in agriculture. I want us to look at agriculture and increase our exposure. Also, I want to advise us that we should be very careful on our exposure in oil and gas. I want us to be very careful. Then thirdly, my colleagues have talked much on the dividend, but I still want to say something on the issue of dividend. For me, as an investor, I really commend the entire board and management of First Bank, FBNHoldings, for giving us 35 kobo, considering what we went through last year, which I called boardroom politics. If what FBNHoldings went through last year happened to any small banks or any banks that is not strong, we will not be talking of dividend this morning. On that note, I commend the CBN for their intervention. I really commend CBN for that. Because if, like I said earlier, if FBNHoldings, if we are not strong, we might not be even part of this bank again. So for that, I really commend the entire board management and staff of FBNHoldings for the dividend of 35 kobo. God on our side, by this year, next year, I believe that our dividend will be higher than 35 kobo. Again, okay, yeah, the account, I don't want to talk much on our account because my colleagues have talked about that. But for me, I believe this year's result is a very good one. The only question I have is that how do we sustain the profitability? Of course, it's very easy to make profit, but how do we sustain it so that by the time we come next year, we will not be having a loss? So I want you to tell me how you want to sustain the profitability. Someone said, Shifa Akinlade said, gang yesterday. Sir, it was not yesterday. It was on Thursday during Dangote Sugar AGM. Yesterday was Sunday. Again, page 10 to 17. Pages 10 to 17. Awards and recognition. During the year under review, our company received 41 awards. This is not easy. Please, a round of applause for them for this great achievement. Having said that, I want to especially thank and appreciate our company for the opportunity given to me to be part of today's meeting. God bless you all, and I wish every one of us journey mercy back to our various destinations.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bakari. Thank you. Mr. Akindaro.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, the directors, the regulators, shareholders present, and those that are watching online. Well, in Yoruba, there's an adage that says, it is the big masquerade that dance last. But I think reverse is the case this morning. You have allowed the big masquerade to dance first. And for me now to be the last one that will speak, in fact, I don't even know where to start all over again. But with what I will try not to repeat what they have said. Mr. Chairman, firstly, we need to congratulate you. Why am I saying that? You are coming at a critical time of our bank. And one of the legacy that a successful man can leave is when you come at a critical time and you are able to turn it around to give yourself a good legacy. I want to tell you that the whole world is looking at you, and we so much believe in First Bank. And we believe that with the duos of Mr. Adedutan and Mr. Nnamdi, I know that you are going to do it better. Because when you look at the three ethnic groups in Nigeria, major three ethnic groups in Nigeria, we have it now on the board of First Bank Holdings. So definitely, every ethnic group is looking at you, and we believe that First Bank will take us there. And Mr. Chairman, somebody said something, and that's Warren Buffett. In one of his interviews with his company, he said, every year he's writing 2 letters to them, and with 2 rules. And in that rules, he will notify them that rule number 1, make sure you don't lose shareholders' money. And rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. And this is what we have with you this morning, Mr. Chairman. Shareholders of First Bank, to be sincere, we are not happy previously. But we believe that the stage is over now. And we're quite sure that this is going to be the last time where we'll be talking of 25 kobo, 35 kobo dividend. Because when you look at what we have achieved in the first quarter of this year, we know that this coming year is going to be a better year. Because when I look at the operating profit of the first quarter result released, from 19 billion, I realized that we have achieved 37 billion. And from profit for the period, from 16 billion, we have achieved 32.4 billion. And the EPS for the period, from 43 kobo, we have achieved 89 kobo. So if we can maintain this tempo, by the end of the year 2022, I know that shareholders will be smiling when it comes to returns on their investment. Because we are not Father Christmas, we put this investment there so that we can enjoy our investment, particularly for the future. And not only that, when I look at our team or what we use for the cover page of our annual report, we said that future focused. Mr. Chairman, the future is now, and we're going to enjoy that returns come next year. And also, Mr. Chairman, I look at our massive debt recovery on page 260. I am very, very glad, and I commend you for this massive recovery of over 141 billion out of 149 billion in another operating income for the year. In fact, it is quite commendable. Even the losses that we have forgotten, you pursue it, and we can record it today. So we really commend you for that. And also, our non-performing loan of 6% is also quite commendable too. And I want to tell us that we need to redefine and recalibrate our risk appetite, not to create additional new non-performing loan in this coming year. Also on page 262, note 17. Page 262, note 17. Our operating expenses. I don't know why we merge donations and subscriptions together. I think they are separate title, and it will be separated so that we don't merge what is donation and subscription, which is our statutory dues, together with donation, which is just a voluntary dues. And also on page 260, note 14. Page 260, note 14. Our dividend income. I want to know why we have lesser dividend income from FBN Quest Merchant Bank Limited for the year. I want to know why we have that, because when I look at it, I can realize that we have a lesser dividend income from there. But for capital, for FBN Quest Capital Limited, I really want to commend that company and the people at the ends of affairs of that company from returns of 600 million to 2 billion. We really commend them and we appreciate what they are doing. Finally, Mr. Chairman, you have come and we are trying to text you. And I know that when next we are coming here, you will prove to us that determination and opportunity can lead us to where we are going, where we have the right people and policy in place. Thank you, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. Mr. Akinduro, thank you. Your questions will be responded to, I'm sure. Okay, thank you very much. Before we put the motion to vote, I'll call on the Group Managing Director to respond to the questions and comments that have been raised by shareholders. The Group MD.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I want to thank all our shareholders who have spoken. On behalf of my colleagues, we want to thank you for your kind words, very kind words, and assure you that we'll take every comment seriously. We are working as a team, the HoldCo and the OpCos, to deliver the kind of numbers you want to see. So I'll quickly go to the comments and run through a few that I think we should just give you feedback on. For Chief Akinlade, we appreciate your commendations on loan recovery, deposit growth, and etc. On dividend payment, we want to thank all of you for understanding the need for us to return earnings so that we can give our machine the firing power to earn more. We look at a situation where, as we increase momentum, the dividend payouts would reflect in what we do, and we'll have clear-cut plans to achieve those. Diversity from Dr. Farouk. It's actually something we are not going to joke with. The chairman just stood up, but I recall that we spoke about this about a week ago when we were looking at composition and the gender distribution. So the directors are conscious of that. Those things also reflect on how our sustainability practices are taken seriously. So the board will do something about that. Chief Okezie, on penalties, well, a lot has been said about that. Now, in terms of unclaimed dividends, we also welcome your advice. Would look into that. I'll then go to Chief Mosu. Thank you for the confidence you have in us. It's not misplaced. I repeat, Shola, myself, and every other CEO of the OpCos at management level, we are working like a team, supervised by the quality board you have already highlighted. So we are sure we would deliver. Mrs. Bakare, thank you for that advice on increasing lending to agric, and watching what we do with oil and gas. First, once bitten, twice shy. So we're aligned with you in terms of our exposure to certain industries. Our risk management framework is now much stronger than ever. In fact, let me even use this opportunity to say that while you're commending our NPL to have come down to where it is, it's also important for you to even realize that if you back out legacy loans and compute our NPL today based on the portfolio from like 2016 to date, you'll be looking at less than 1%. So what you're even seeing is plus carryover, and that tells you that we'll continue to head south in terms of NPL. So nobody wants to, there are so much restrictions that come with your breaching NPL, and we're conscious of that. Sustainability of profit. Well, I'd like to assure you, some people have told us, your if you report 160 billion, yeah, that's because of loan recovery. There's nothing wrong with recovering a loan that you had written off previously. But thankfully, our Q1 confirms that it's not flash in the pan. At 36 billion in Q1 of 2022, even if we maintain that momentum, we will deliver 144 billion. So we will make sure that we continue on that trajectory, just to assure you that our performance of last year is not flash in the pan. Okay, so Chief Akinduro, you want us to maintain the tempo, thank you. And you don't want us to create additional NPL. Nobody wants that. It's not a good feeling. I repeat, joining the bank, the risk management framework I've seen, and the practice, and a few times I've even had to have some arguments with the CRO of our biggest operating entity, First Bank, tells me that something good has been put in place to prevent us from returning to the past. Shola himself doesn't want to go through the kind of situations we've gone through 2 times in a career life. So we'll have that conversation from time to time, and I assure you that we'll make sure that we'll keep our eyes on the ball regarding quality of risk assets. So we'll not create in line with your advice. Okay, so dividend income from FBN Quest being lower than previous year. You are absolutely right. Even at holdco level, I'm on the board of FBN Quest as well. And I assure you, the management, really they paid less dividend because the performance was not as good as last year. And the board is focusing on making sure that management delivers better numbers for next year from FBN Quest. What we have done is compare their performance with other, especially the merchant bank, with other merchant banks, and we realize there's room for improvement. But as you said, if you look at Capital, if you look at other members of the Quest group, you see that they are going northwards. So the board will keep an eye on making sure that that they achieve. Okay, so just to round up, before I hand over the microphone to Shola to say a few things. You don't want to say a few things? Okay. Let me thank the board of the bank for appointing me, Group Managing Director. And I use this opportunity to also thank the Central Bank for approving that appointment. If I look at when I was preparing for interview for this position, I analyzed First Bank from backwards. And my God, I tell you, the progress I saw from 2016 down to present told me that people were really in the cooking room getting things right. So I want to commend the directors before then and now because of what I have seen in terms of the progressive movement. So I'm happy to come on board, and I'll work with my colleagues, the CEOs of the OPCOs, the board, to make sure that we would deliver superior performance. So finally, I will then Shola says for me to greet everybody. He doesn't want to speak at this moment. But I think you should just say hello.
Good morning, distinguished shareholders. Always a privilege to have the opportunity to address the body of shareholders. I align fully with what the leader of the institution, our chairman, Alhaji Hamad Abdullahi Adeja said, and what Nnamdi has said. All I would just say is be rest assured that at the management and board level, we are very focused on accreting values to our shareholders. That is our primary reason for being where you have put us, and we will not let you down. Thank you.
Thank you, Shola. I'll now hand over to our chairman. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much for that assurance to our shareholders. So now that there are no further questions or comments, I'll now put the motion to the meeting. Each shareholder and proxy was given an electronic pad with which to vote on motions by poll. The results will be projected on the screen for shareholders and those viewing online to see. I want to invite the registrars to explain the e-voting pad. Okay, observation. Sorry? No, it should be somewhere inside.
It's too late. You have laid it, we've discussed it. So you move to item 2 of the agenda.
But Mr. Chairman, in your statement, you said to receive. So I think since when you were reading the notice,
look at the agenda now. It's too late.
It has been approved automatically. Okay. The shareholders, no objection. Okay.
Once again, my name is Mrs. Bisi Bakari. It is true that the agenda is too late, but this resolution has already been voted for by shareholders that sent their proxies. You just call on the registrar to give us the outcome of the votes for the item 1. No, he said they should. You said they should go to item 2. So it's for the registrar to just give us the result for the vote.
Okay. So the electronic voting is clear to everybody. It has been done. Okay, so the registrar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So the process for the poll counting is that the proxies that had been sent previously had been captured with the results, but the shareholders who are here present also have an opportunity of voting on every resolution. So what we're going to do is that we have a keypad that's been given to us, and if you're voting for, you press 1, you have 1A there, and if you're voting against, you press 2. And as soon as we're done, it will take 5 seconds. The result will be presented on the screen for everyone to see. So the voting opens, you see it on the screen. So thank you. Yes, it's already on the voting channel, but in case if it's not, just okay, so voting is open, just press 1 or 2. 1 for, 2 against.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll see it. So I've already voted, huh?
So we have 3 seconds left. Thank you very much. We now have the results on this resolution right on the board. For this resolution, we have 1,187 shareholders voting by proxy, voting 100% in favor of the reception of the audited accounts. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So following the result of the voting as announced by the registrars, I hereby declare that the resolution to receive the reports of the directors, auditors, external consultants on the board appraisal, and Audit Committee, together with the audited accounts for the financial year ended 31st December 2021, now submitted to this meeting, has been duly carried. So we shall now go to the second item on the agenda, which is the declaration of dividend. I hereby move that a dividend payment in the total sum of 12,563,352,477 naira, which translates to 35 kobo per 50 kobo ordinary share of the company, subject to withholding tax, with the dividend payable on Tuesday, June 21st, 2022, to members whose names appear in the register of members at the close of business on June 13th, 2022, be and is hereby approved. Will a shareholder please second the motion? Mr. Matthew Akinlade.
I, Matthew Akinlade, I second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Akinlade. I will now put the motion to the meeting. You have 30 seconds to vote. Please vote now.
The poll is open. Please vote.
I press one now. Okay. Are you ready, Registrar?
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay, so
we have
please
2
announce the
seconds
result.
left. All right. Thank you. So we have all shareholders voting by proxy and here present, voting 100% unanimously in favor of the dividend declaration.
Thank you, Registrars. So following the announcement of the result by Registrars, I hereby declare that the resolution to declare a dividend in the total sum of 12,563,352,477 naira, which translates to 35 kobo per 50 kobo ordinary share of the company, subject to withholding tax, with a dividend payable on Tuesday, June 21st, 2022, to members whose names appear in the register of members at the close of business on June 13th, 2022, is hereby carried. The next item is the appointment of directors. The appointment of the following directors as directors to the board of the company have been approved by CBN: Mr. Julius B. Omodayo Otunga and Mr. Namdi Okonko. This resolution is for your approval to elect the aforementioned directors to the board of the company. We'll now take their election one after the other. And this is in line with the provisions of CAMA, section 2731. So we'll start with the election of Mr. Julius B. Omotayo Otunga. I want to call on a shareholder, one of the shareholders, to move as follows: that Julius B. Omodayo Otunga be elected as a director. Okay, Mrs. Bakari.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Mrs. Bisi Bakari. I move the motion.
Will another shareholder second the motion? Akunda, you are raising your hand.
I second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. So the motion is put to voting now.
The poll is open.
Yes.
1 for, 2 against.
So,
okay. 3 seconds to
what's
the
the
end of
result?
the vote. It's coming up, sir.
It's coming up.
Okay, by this poll, we have, out of the total of 189 voters at this meeting, 1,119 voted in favor of the appointment of this director, which represents 94.11%. And we have 70 shareholders voting against, which represents 5.89%. So on the whole, we have 72.3% voting in favor of his appointment, while 27.67% voted against. There was no absenting votes.
So following the result of the voting as announced by registrars, I hereby declare the resolution to elect Mr. Julius B. Omotayo Ortega as a director carried. The next resolution is for the election of Mr. Nnamdi Okonkwo. I want to call on a shareholder to move as follows: that Mr. Nnamdi Okonkwo be elected as a director.
I, Boniface Okezie, second motion, Mr. Chairman.
So, yes, no problem. I recognize him. So, Mr. Okezie, thank you very much. Can I call on another shareholder to second the motion? Okay. Dr. Farouk.
Yeah, you know, Mr. Chairman, we always have to be patient with short people. Mr. Chairman, I'm seconding the motion and calling on all shareholders to look at page 87 of this account and look at the CV of the man we are electing as our group managing director. Like I said, if you see the banks he has worked at, UBA, Citizens Bank, FSB, and Fidelity, you know, so, I mean, Mr. Chairman, we are very happy to second his, for me to second his election. The rule by the regulators, SEC, is that he should have satisfied 75% of board and committee attendance. He has done that because he was appointed 1st of January, and we have a lot of hope that he's going to move this bank forward. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. So we have 30 seconds to vote in favor or against this motion.
So the poll is open. Please vote. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The result of the vote is as displayed on the screen. A total of 1,189 shareholders voted. 1,187 shareholders voted in favor of the appointment of Mr. Nnamdi Okonkwo, which represents 99.83% of the total voters, while 0.17% voted against. So on the whole, 99.52% voted in favor of the appointment, while 0.48% voted against.
Thank you, Registrar. So following the result of the voting as announced by the registrars, I hereby declare the resolution to elect Mr. Nnamdi Okonkwo as a director carried. We now proceed to the next item on the agenda, which is the resolution to authorize directors to determine the remuneration of auditors. Section 4012 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act provides that at any annual general meeting, a retiring auditor, however appointed, shall be reappointed without any resolution being passed. In the light of this provision, the company's auditors, Mrs. KPMG Professional Services, being the retiring auditors, is hereby reappointed without a resolution. By Section 4012 and 4081B of CAMA, the remuneration of Mrs. KPMG Professional Services as auditors shall be fixed by the company at a general meeting. For this resolution, I ask a shareholder to formally move as follows: that the remuneration and expenses of the company's auditor, Mrs. KPMG Professional Services, be fixed by the directors in respect of the period ending at the conclusion of the next annual general meeting. Okay. Mr. Soni Owosu. Okay. Thank you very much. Will another shareholder second the motion? As Mr. Akilade raised his hand.
I, Matthew Akinlade, I second that motion. Thank you.
Okay, so we have 30 seconds to vote in favor or against the motion. Is the motion, is it open? The voting open?
Yes, it's open.
Okay.
It's open. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have 1,188 shareholders voting on this resolution, and that represents 100% of the voters. There was no vote against, and there was no absenting votes. Thank you.
Thank you. So following the announcement of the result of voting by registrars, I hereby declare that the resolution authorizing directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors is hereby carried. The next item on the agenda is the disclosure of remuneration of the managers of the company. Section 238 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 provides that at this meeting, the disclosure of remuneration of managers of the company be done. Accordingly, the remuneration of managers is disclosed on page 325 of the annual report. So this is for the information of the shareholders. Next is resolution to elect members of the audit committee. In compliance with section 4043 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the board of directors of the company has nominated the following directors as members of the audit committee for the period ending at the end of the next annual general meeting. They are 1, Sir Peter Aliogo, and 2, Mr. Khalifa Imam. We received 25 valid nominations from the shareholders, following which 22 have withdrawn, leaving 3 valid nominations. The 3 nominees are Fuad Farouk Umar, 2, Kashimao Tayo, FCA, and 3, Vatalis Ekwem Anyam. For the sake of clarity and for the avoidance of doubt, please note that the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act on the right to demand a poll on the election of auditors, on the election of the audit committee members. Section 2493 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act provides as follows. Notwithstanding Section 248 of this Act and subsections 1 and 2 of this section, there shall be no right to demand a poll on the election of members of the audit committee under Section 404 of this Act. In view of the fact that there are 3 valid nominations to fill the vacancies of the position of shareholders on the statutory audit committee, there shall be no need for an election. I will now call on a shareholder to propose the following motion: that pursuant to Section 404 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, an audit committee of the company be and is hereby appointed with effect from today, June 20th, 2022, till the conclusion of the next annual general meeting. The following are to constitute membership of the committee. For directors, 1, Saputa Aliogo, 2, Mr. Khalifa Imam. For the shareholders, 1, Mr. Fuad Farouk Umar, 2, Kashimao Tayo, FCA, and 3, Vatalis Ekwem Anyim. Will the shareholder please move the motion? Okay. Mr. Nwosu.
Sir Nwosu, I move the motion.
Sir Nwosu. Yeah, thank you very much for moving the motion. And Mr. Akinduro.
Second that motion, Mr. Chairman. Eric is the name.
Thank you very much for seconding the motion. So that carries it. No need for voting. We now move to the special business of the day. And that is in respect of an issued share capital of the company. To provide a background to this motion, information to this resolution, the Companies and Allied Matters Act, that's CAMA 2020, eliminated the concept of authorized share capital and instead introduced minimum issued share capital by virtue of the provisions of Section 1243 and 4. To facilitate the implementation of the above provisions, the Corporate Affairs Commission, under Section 13 of the Companies Regulation, mandated all existing companies to issue their unissued shares by June 30th, 2021. However, after several engagements, the CAC extended the compliance timeline to December 31st, 2022. The resolutions being presented for the approval of shareholders to enable the company comply with the provisions of Regulation 13 of the Companies Regulations 2021 and CAMA 2020 are as follows. 1, cancel the unissued shares of the company before 31st December 2022 without conveying any other meeting of the shareholders. Or, if considered necessary, to issue the unissued shares to convey an extraordinary general meeting to obtain approval of the shareholders to issue the unissued shares before 31st December 2022. The following resolutions are therefore necessary to comply with the provisions of the company's regulations. I will now call on a shareholder to propose the following motions. 7A, that the directors be and are hereby authorized to take steps to comply with the requirements of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020, Section 124, and the Companies Regulations 2021 as it relates to unissued shares currently sending to the capital of the company. 7B, currently standing, to the capital of the company. 7B, that the company be and is hereby authorized to take all steps necessary to ensure that the memorandum and articles of association of the company are altered to comply with the resolution A above, including replacing the provision stating the authorized share capital with the issued share capital. 7C, that directors be and are hereby authorized to enter into and execute any agreement, deeds, notices, and any other documents necessary for and or incidental to resolution A above. 7D, that the directors of the company or any one of them for the time being be and are hereby authorized to appoint such professional parties and advisors to perform all such acts and do all such other things as may be necessary for or incidental to the above resolutions, including, without limitation, complying with the directives of any regulatory authority. I'll call on a member to make that move. Okay, so observation, let's have the observation.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, we are being asked by Corporate Affairs Commission to cancel shares, like you said, before 31st of December. Mr. Chairman, we as shareholders are mindful of costs that would be incurred in case Central Bank of Nigeria will later, maybe next year or the year after, come and ask us to recapitalize, which means now then we have to go back, we have to increase the share capital. So, Mr. Chairman, my observation here is, since we have representatives of CBN, CBN should let the banks know when this capitalization is going to come off. If it is going to come up before December, it makes a lot of sense for us not to cancel the shares. This is one. Alternatively, we should enter into an agreement. Maybe CBN can talk to CAC to give a waiver that even if we cancel, by the time they come with their recapitalization, we would have a waiver of paying fees, because once you are doing a public offer or rights, whatever it is, there is a lot of cost involved. With this observation, Mr. Chairman, I move the motion. And also, I want the board to wait, not to cancel until 31st of December, because who knows, maybe there will be again another extension from CAC. Thank you very much.
So the motion is twofold: cancel, or if considered necessary, to issue. Yeah.
I did.
He has moved already.
I did. It's just an observation I made. I moved the motion.
I'll call on Mr. Okeze to second the motion. He moved.
Mr. Chairman, I will have to second that motion. The directors who elected the people, you have our confidence to do the needful. We can't dictate for you now. Neither the CBN, they don't even know when they will come to market, either after a year or thereabout. They don't even know. So do the needful before the end of the year or deadline given. I second the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okeze. So we have 30 seconds to vote on those motions. And registrar, is it open now?
It's now
okay.
open.
So let's vote.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we have 1,188 shareholders voting on this motion. And this represents 100% of everyone who voted, and the vote is unanimous.
So following the announcement of the result by the registrars, I hereby declare resolution 7A to 7D duly carried. Ladies and gentlemen, as there is no other business for which due statutory notice was given, I thank you all for attending and taking part in the affairs of our company. I hereby declare the 10th annual general meeting of the company closed. I now call on the shareholder to please lead us in a closing prayer. Mr. Nwosu, Mr. Nwosu.
Please let us pray. Shall we be all standing to pray to Almighty God? In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Father, we thank you that you guided us from the beginning of this meeting to the end. And we thank you for giving us a successful meeting. In thanking you, Father, we also ask you to endear the directors with your grace so that everything they are going to do will be in line with the fine meeting we had this morning. Lead us to our respective homes safely, Father. Protect this country from whatever will cause chaos. Help our politicians to think and write, as you are helping the corporate world too to produce results. Father, all these and many other things we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you. Will you remain standing for the national anthem?